Hello and welcome to the Lamenters. This is a huge episode. We are on episode 10 of the Red Crescent storyline. And for those who haven't been watching, you're missing out. This is a deadly game of life and death that's happening right now. The Lamenters left Castle Lee to go and investigate what was going on in the small village of Oak Point. Along the way, they discovered the dead courier, Roger, unfortunately a victim of this mysterious infestation, this plague that has been afflicting the recently dead and reanimating them. You guys made it to the Kerr family farm. You got some intel from Matthias Kerr. You decided to go out to some of the neighboring farms that you were familiar with, because not that long ago, a mere matter of weeks ago, you had saved several of the nearby farms from these attacks from the very strange, oddly well-trained and armed orcs. And upon arriving, you were able to discover, fortunately, that the Arnulfson family was still intact. Bellows, or rather the ruins of Bellows farm, did not contain the Bellow family. However, you may recall that you rescued Molly, the former fiance of Roger, and the innkeeper's assistant. And upon rescuing all these people, you brought them back to the Kerr farm. Matthias Kerr conveyed to you that his farm is at capacity for refugees. But that he was hoping that you would be able to continue to see if there were any survivors, perhaps barricaded and trying to survive within the village of Oak Point. And that is where we left off. Now, you may recall that Molly had told you that the way things started to break down was very gradual, that at first, there was a few, sick people, and then the sickness seemed to kind of spread. And then, people began kind of coming to town for help from other farms around the county. And like travelers who had been traveling through kind of tried to hole up, and that there was this kind of pinnacle moment where a bunch of these shambling kind of zombies began to attack the inn. And you were told by Molly that she was basically attacked and fled, and that as she was leaving, like basically Falcone and Bello and a few of the other townsfolk were trying to fight these things back as they were breaking into the inn. Not really sure about Magistrate Meyer or any of the other townsfolk. So it was morning when we last left off, and you guys had kind of completed breakfast and your morning preparations. Gizmo, your spell memorizations are complete, and Arazen, your prayers to Inas were also said. So with that, the Lamenters, you are at the morning, it's maybe 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and you guys are all kind of rested, prepared, and ready for your day. So with that, what do you do?
Okay, guys, we need a plan because it's danger zone, and we need to check specific places and don't be there longer than necessary.
Mm-hmm.
So there are few places where something like that could from. Mainly stuff that people eat and drink, so that might be good idea to check. I don't know how this zombieism or what it is transmit, but maybe we should cover our mouths and noses for the case it's airborne. And
Agreed. Yep.
Mr. Bellows.
You can get cloth from Matthias to fashion basically like bandanas and mask yourselves. He's able to give you guys essentially like each one of you like a sash to kind of wrap around your face.
Do we know where the livestock comes from that the town eats as a whole at the moment?
Well, yes. So you guys know that, farmers from around the area, further to the south, and then also to the east and northeast, they all have, a variety of different livestock and crops that they trade and they sell within town. And you notice, some people, almost every farmer has chickens and hogs and cows. But, some of them have a larger number of livestock inventory that they are able to trade for, for food, or to bring, that they will slaughter and bring to town and sell the meat for. Likewise, chickens, are often sold, or their eggs are sold. Some of the farms kind of focus more on dairy, and they will, they'll have, they'll provide all the milk and cheese and that sort of stuff, and butter, for the town. So it's basically the village is just supported by all of the local farmers.
So it's not likely to be in a well, since travelers and other farmers got ill and sick as well. They're probably not using the same water pit.
Yeah, you don't have reason to believe that the water table is polluted, because the Kerrs have wells on their property. The Arnulfsons have wells on their property, and the village has a village well, and then water is also, when needed, taken from the river. And so whether it's from the water table or from the river, it doesn't seem like the water is a source of possible infection or pollution, because you can tell that like there are people who are surviving here that you've rescued who have been consuming that water, and they seem to be fine.
Maybe it could be an artifact.
Yep.
Could have been planted somewhere.
Has anyone noticed any similarities between the infected?
Only some of them had a green glow, and most didn't have the green glow in them.
That's right. That's right.
So
And Molly,
there's something there, but
yeah, Molly told you that this sickness afflicted people who were in town as well as people who were from out of town, kind of just whole county wide, regardless of age, gender, physical wellness. It seemed to be able to affect people, but she wasn't sure what was the common denominator.
Also, do you remember those bandits on the bridge? They had also the green glow, so maybe same source. Just go there. Okay.
Shall we go into town and see what we discover?
I think we should give it a try.
Yeah.
Also be prepared to get out of there as quick as possible.
I'm prepared to fight, my friend.
So you guys may recall that the Kerr farm is north of the village of Oak Point, and that the north road that leads down from Castle Lee past the Kerr farm goes to the village of Oak Point, and it continues further south. If you take the road, you'll intersect the east-west road. And the east-west road, where it intersects, it goes east into the town, and that's only about 50 yards from the wooden palisade, the fence around the town. And then to the west, it goes over the river on that bridge that you guys approached, goes over the river, and then west towards the other farms like the Bellows and the Arnoldsons. So if you take the road, it'll put you pretty close to the western gate of the town. Is that what you guys are doing? And also, are you going on foot or by horse? How are you proceeding?
I think we will I would let the horses from Lord Lee on the farm.
Okay.
But it's my
So you want to leave the horses in the safety of the Kerr farm? Okay.
Agreed.
All right.
I think it would be smarter to go on horseback, but the faster to get out again.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was my
well-
thinking. But
Discuss and strategize.
When we return to the castles, we will return on horseback, so it'll be faster.
Well, going to the town would be smart. Either, sorry, to be on horseback, going into town and out of town, and probably going through town on horse as well.
It will be faster, but we will be also a lot louder. We might get a jump on them or avoid direct confrontation before we know what we want to do.
Yeah,
Because if we stride in on the horse, we will alert everybody in surrounding. And besides, I don't want to pay for the horse.
Yeah, I'd rather keep the horses safe instead of risking them.
but those zombies were pretty quick. So if we get attacked in the
I don't
city,
recall them being. I don't recall them being fast.
the zombies are usually pretty slow. But my one idea that I might have is that if we want to take the horses to the edge of the town and maybe tie them up, go on foot, and come back if we need to, that might be another option.
Maybe a little further outside of town, so like they don't get as we rush out. You know, if there is like a giant horde.
Also,
One thing that you guys should remember that Matthias told you is that these things do eat livestock. They
Yeah,
will attack
you're right, I
livestock.
remember.
So if you tie up horses and there happen to
gonna
be a
attack.
few wandering through the countryside, your horses are sitting ducks.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have
Let's just
more
leave 'em at the
control
farm.
over the
I don't wanna
situation if we go on foot.
agreed.
Yes.
but
One thing I'd like to do in
Triple light.
preparation before we go is I want to ask Matthias if he's got any spare oil and oil like flasks because I want to cook the sword that I
He's-
have.
Well,
and suggest it to Arizin.
so he
Agreed.
doesn't have any spare. As it stands, he tells you honestly, he says,
Okay.
he looks at you and he says, I understand why, because it seems like burning those things is a good idea, but I'll tell you what, the oil that I do have, I have to ration as it is because I'm concerned about being able to make it through winter. You know, complications being what they are, trying to go out in the woods north of here to gather firewood is a little more dangerous than it used to be. So I'm gonna have to
I understand.
ration the oil that I have.
I have
Yeah,
a
I
flask,
have-
brother, but I fear it is not enough for both of us.
I understand.
I have a flask of oil
Matthias.
that I don't need, Taryn. You can use mine.
I have 2.5
Alright.
flasks as well. So
All right, I'll take whatever. I'll take some of the oil, and then Arizin can take some too, and we can
Oil
Yeah.
my
hopefully
long
use
sword.
this.
and I think we should travel light because we might need to boogie out of town, and we want to be able to run quick.
Agreed.
So
Okay.
leave most of
Weapons,
our stuff
armor.
here.
I'm leaving everything else behind.
Yeah.
Okay. So after you guys kind of unload your travel goods, and you're kind of just focused on the basics.
I just have feeling and keeping candle holders on my.
Yep.
on
I'm
my
not
person.
leaving those at all.
Okay. So Gizmo has the candles. The
I
candles.
still have the skull as well as Igar's pendant.
Okay. All right. So you guys begin traveling down the road. You go to the eastern gate where Matthias has the barricades, and he carefully opens the barricades with you guys. You guys pass through. Then you help him lift them back into place. You kind of like survey the open countryside, and it's very quiet. It's a very quiet morning. You know, you hear the sounds of insects, birds, animals. And you, for as far as you could see down the road and across the fields, you don't see any wandering zombies. So you begin the walk towards Oak Point, and you are walking down the road, continuously kind of looking around, I'm assuming, and just checking both sides of the road, looking in the fields. Still don't see anything. You're making good progress. And that is when you see the village palisades in your sights, and they are not far away as you're heading down the road. So in my very primitive map, imagine over here to the left is where the road intersects, the north-south road intersects this very primitive map of the village. So this western gate is where you would be entering from. As you guys are looking at the palisades and at the village, about 50 yards away, you notice that there's the gates are closed. Okay, so this is actually closed. The palisades seem to all be intact. But what you don't see is any kind of smoke rising from any of the cottages or from the inn or from the magistrate's building. Like, you don't see the presence of any cooking fires or, fireplaces in action. You also don't hear any sounds of people or wagons or horses or any kind of commerce going on. It's very eerily quiet.
Is there we are 50 feet from the palisade?
You're about 50 yards, so 50
yards.
meters, let's say.
Okay.
I'm taking my claymore out and I'm coating in oil, but I have not lit it yet.
Okay.
Do the same with my longsword.
I try to look around.
I have my bow out.
Okay.
Same.
I'm trying to look around and see if any over the palisade, if there is anyone moving or anything.
So if you want to get closer, without opening the gate, you could climb up. The palisade, the height of the fence is 10 feet.
Yeah.
So you would have to make a successful climb check or have somebody lift you up and boost you up so that you could see over the gate. You guys want to approach?
Gizmo, come with me. I'll raise you up to the gate level.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys are approaching. Are the rest of you guys following suit?
Yep.
Yes, I'm also lighting a torch.
Okay.
Claymore, torch.
All right. So you guys get up to the edge here. I'm going to say you're like right there, right off the edge of the gate.
Lean my sword up against the gate so I can use both hands.
Okay. That's totally legit. Go ahead and make a strength check. Roll under your strength and tell me what the result is. You want to roll low for this.
15, which is 1 or 3 under my strength.
Okay, so you're still successful, and Gizmo is not heavily encumbered or anything. So you kind of grab a foot and boost him up, and then kind of support him. And Gizmo, you get to the top of the palisade, and you look out. And you are looking down through here. You could basically see down the main road through the town. You see about 8 zombies just kind of spread out here and there around this main road. You can't see too much past these buildings, or definitely past the magistrate's building because of sight lines. Those are taller than where you're at. But you just down this main road, you see about 8 zombies kind of spread out, and some of them are like standing next to buildings, like banging on the buildings with their hands, and then others are just kind of like walking around.
Are some buildings barricaded, or what I see?
So, from what you could see, these 2 tents look like they have been torn up. Like the posts have been knocked out. They're kind of flattened. There's smeared blood around them, and like pools of gore. It looks like basically like maybe somebody was devoured near this, or multiple people. You notice that this building back here also seems like the door is open and the shutters and doors are smashed, and this looks vacant. This building seems like the doors and windows are still intact. There's 1 zombie kind of banging up against this, but you don't hear anything. There's no cries for help or anything. And you, as far as what you could see from this angle of the magistrate's building, the walls look intact and the building looks intact.
Okay, I get down and say, so we have, like, I saw at least 8 of them roaming, and some buildings seem to still be intact. Maybe there are some survivors in them. Some are torn open.
We should use the buildings as cover and sneak attack the zombies that we can see and get rid of them right away.
Maybe climb up on the wall and just try and take them out with bow and arrow.
Yeah, I'll lift up
Or going in.
Freya, and then Erzin can lift up Rogo and take shots at you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. If you guys are doing that, which is totally fine and legit, it is important to know how many arrows you have, because you may make 30 shots and only have 20 arrows. So I will need to know the arrow count of.
I have exactly 13. I checked from last time.
Okay, so Rollgood has 13.
Would it be okay to say that maybe we could have got some arrows from Matthias since he had so many?
You didn't say it.
But we didn't say it.
Well, you didn't say it, but I'll say this. Matthias is willing to share. Okay, you guys have come to this, but you also know that like he has to kind of make sure that his family has enough supplies for their own defenses and hunting. So even if you had asked him, I think he would have kind of hesitated and been like, no. So Freya, how many arrows do you have?
Well, we skipped over it last time down at the farm about retrieving some arrows. Kind of skipped over that bit, but not counting any retrieved, I should have 13 left.
Okay, good. So you and Rollgood have the same. All right, so the idea, if I'm understanding this correctly, is that your comrades would boost you up, so you're on the wall and shooting over it at people on the street as zombies. Okay. So you're gonna pick them off from there.
Yep.
Okay. So let's do a series of rolls. So I will start with Rollgood.
I'm guessing they would be surprised, so the surprise attack bonus would apply.
Yes. So I will give you guys the surprise attack bonus on the first 5 rolls. Okay. So we'll start with Rollgood. Go ahead and tell me your roll and your damage.
Okay. That is a 15.
That's a hit.
And 1 damage.
Okay. Next one.
Well, it should be 2 with your sneak attack, right?
Yeah, okay. We'll call it 2 then.
I think every point counts.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is a 12.
Hit.
And that's again 2 damage.
Okay.
The next attack is again a 12.
Hit.
And that one is 10 damage.
Okay, that drops him.
That was 3.
That's 3. Yep. So go ahead and make 2 more rolls.
That's a 19.
Hit.
And 4 damage.
Next.
And the last one is an 8.
Miss. All right, Freya, go ahead.
That's a 2.
Miss.
That's a 6.
Miss.
Changing D8. Up. 2. Come on. That's a 14.
Hit. Damage.
That's a 6 times 5, 30 damage.
Okay, I'm going to say that you drop 1 by yourself.
That's a 17
Hit.
for 10 points.
Okay, that'll drop the second one. So collectively, you guys have dropped the first 3 in range.
All right.
You are each down to 8 arrows.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so you have cleared the western half. Okay, you dropped these first 3 zombies, the one that was near this house and the 2 that were kind of wandering around here.
I have
You
I have a suggestion of we'll maybe go to the south and go over to the magistrate's house and see if we can get up on his wall. How can we see how high his wall is compared to?
So if you were to
ours?
climb the fence,
Right.
you could. Well, you got a couple options. You can climb the fence, climb down, and this little gap here is actually 10 feet. So
Okay.
you could either try to acrobatically jump to the wall or over the wall, but if you fail, you're going to take damage. Or you could just climb and then reclimb and then get inside of the yard where his place is.
That's just an option I was thinking about, guys. We'd be a little bit more protected.
I will
that's not
say-
a bad idea.
I will say if you climb to the south, if you go to the south and climb up and peek over, at this point or this point, you should be able to get a good gander at what, if anything, is inside of the walled area here.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do.
Okay.
Yep.
Seems like
Good idea.
good plan.
All right. So you guys move down along here.
Yep.
And you do the boost up. Here, Gizmo looks. You don't see anyone or anything inside of the wall. You go over to here. You look this way. You don't see anyone or anything inside of the wall. And the windows are all shuttered. They're all still intact on all sides that you've seen so far.
All right. And there's also nobody in the 10 feet gap or to the
Correct.
side?
Yeah. Like he looks. Now you do see there's a zombie down here. Just a loner, from what you could see, and he's kind of like feeding on someone or something that is down here. And you see the zombie like bent over this corpse, just tearing at the flesh, and it's covered in gore over by this tent.
Shall we dispatch him before we move into the magistrate's facility?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Fry, would you like to take a shot at him?
Yeah. I'll take a shot at him.
Okay.
That's a 14
Okay. That's a
for
hit.
15.
Damage.
15 damage.
That's enough. You
Taking
drop
he's
it.
surprised.
The law
You
of
drop him.
damage.
Okay. So who's going to be doing the climbing and in what order, and who's going first?
A big needs to boost a big over so a big can help the rest over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Brother, come, I'll boost you.
So you're going to take a look at your climbing ability. Most of you, if you're not a specialist, have a 1 in 6 chance of successfully climbing. But if you are helping a friend, I'm going to say you have a 2 in 6 chance of successfully climbing. So you need to roll on a d6, a 1 or a 2.
Gotcha.
Now, failure doesn't necessarily mean full failure. It just means it depends on what you roll. So
I got,
That was a 5.
I got 3 out of 2.
5.
So Taryn, you're still able to get over, but instead of like tactfully, climbing down, he kind of like boosts you over, and then you're like, huh, and you like fall. You don't take any damage, but it
Okay.
definitely you kind of make like a thud noise.
Yeah. Adult thud, yeah.
All right, who is climbing over the palisade next? Before I move on to Taryn's roll for the stone wall.
I would like to be boosted up and just sit on the outer wall.
Okay, so you're gonna try to sit on the top of the palisade to keep an eye on things.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are boosted up and you're sitting up there. Who's next?
I'm gonna climb over.
All right, go ahead.
That's a 3.
What's your climb ability?
I have a 1 in 6.
Okay, so you kind of do the same thing. Yours isn't quite a fall, but you kind of slide down, but you're over with.
Try. Whoever's coming over, I'm like trying to help them down.
Okay.
So they don't like.
So
Eat it.
here's then what I'll say is for Gizmo then, because Arizen's boosting Gizmo up, and then you're going to help Gizmo down. Gizmo, you have a 3 in 6 chance of making a successful climb.
Okay. And it's a 4.
Okay. You fall, but Terran catches you. Okay, so
How the hell am I getting over?
yeah, Arizen, you have no one to help you, so go ahead and make a roll.
Well, you can use the rope.
Let me look at my inventory. I think I got some rope. At least throw it. Yeah, I got 50 feet of rope.
You can throw some
Okay.
rope over.
So if you throw the rope over and you hold the rope for him, then
Yeah.
he basically gets assistance, so he's going to get a 3 in 6 chance.
3.
Okay, so you were able to get up and then climb over. Freya, make a.
I don't like that.
Well, you're actively searching, right, to see if anybody's coming. All right,
Right.
so go ahead and make a search check.
Search check. All right, let's roll under. Ooh, that's a 5 against my 2 for searching.
Yeah, you don't see any new zombies in the area. So you're still at the top of the wall. Now, who's going over the stone wall?
Let's do it the same way. You want to boost me up, brother?
Let's
Okay,
do
go
it.
ahead.
All right.
Make that roll.
1.
I got a 3.
Okay, you're able to get up and over. If you
Alright.
do the rope thing where you anchor the rope,
Yeah.
everybody else gets a 3 in 6 chance.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, roll good. Make the
I'll
roll.
go
Gizmo,
next.
make the roll.
I got a 5.
Okay, not a big deal. You just kind of slip and fall when you're going over.
Does it matter if I continue to boost them?
I'm assuming that on that side, that'll be what you're doing until you go over. And you already rolled successfully. So, Gizmo, what's your roll?
6.
Okay, so somehow Gizmo gets to the top of the stone wall, and then as he's turning around with the rope and Terran's assistance, his hands slip on the rope and he falls. You take 1 hit point of damage.
Gizmo,
Freya-
are you all right?
Freya,
I'm back.
what's your plan? Freya, you're still on the palisade wall, the wood wall. What are you doing?
I was thinking of jumping over to the stone wall.
Okay,
So
all right, go ahead and
that'd be a dex roll under.
yes, and you have to get better than 5 under your dex.
Oh boy. It's a 14 on my 13 dex. So
Okay,
ouch.
you take damage. You take 2 hit points of damage. Basically what happens is you try to do this parkour move and you kind of land on the stone wall, but you lose your balance and then you do a header onto the ground. So you kind of bang yourself up as you crash.
Freya!
Yeah,
Freya,
you,
could you not catch her?
you sort of overshot your mark. So everybody gets over the stone wall, and you guys, again, you're kind of in this area now, and you peek around both sides. You don't see any people within this yard. You know that the main entrance is up here. The front door is the main entrance to his office.
Can I try to look into the window if there is? Like,
You
any
could.
movement?
You do see that all the windows are closed. The shutters, the wooden shutters outside, are closed. But they, for someone skilled in unlocking things, they would not be very difficult to slide a pick and flip the latch on the inside if you wanted to do that.
Can I ask if I look around? There are probably gates in the stone wall.
Only the front gate.
Oh, okay.
So as
Is it-
long as you guys are not climbing up the wall anywhere to look over it, you can't see out of it.
Yeah,
Because
understood.
this
And they
wall,
can't
like,
see in.
then they can't see in.
Is front gate of the stone wall open or closed?
Are you gonna go look?
If we do that, then what?
I suggest
that
it.
means I can maybe stealth around there because I do have a 4 and 6 chance of stealth.
Why don't you go
Yes.
ahead and make a stealth check? So Brolgood kind of drops down low and begins moving along the building, between the building and the wall, kind of like looking carefully with his bow out and an arrow ready to fly.
That's a 4.
Okay.
Nice.
Brolgood, you make it to the northeast corner, right about here, and you peer around and you see that the gate is actually open. It's a wrought iron gate, but it's open. You also see that the front door of the manor is closed, but there's a zombie who's standing outside of the front door.
Between the gate and the front door.
Yes. You recognize this zombie. He looks like he was once a young man, maybe a teenage boy. He does not see you,
So
but he's
I'm
like
gonna.
standing out front of the door and like kind of pawing at it. Not really banging vigorously, just like, oh.
I think I'm going to take a shot at him.
Okay.
Oh boy.
That's a 14.
Hit. Roll damage.
That's 6 damage.
Well, that is a hit. He takes the hit and like turns to look, not towards you, like in the other direction. And then he like looks down at the arrow. It's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna go at him one more time.
Okay.
That is a 12.
That's also a hit. Roll damage.
That's also 6 damage.
Now you hit him in the head and he drops.
Okay. I would like to go out and close the gate as quietly as possible.
Okay, make a stealth check for this move.
That is a 5.
So you stealth over to the gate, and as you're looking out, like to go close it quietly, you see that the plaza in town around the well, that you could kind of see that the front entrances to these buildings are all open. Like these doors and shutters are open. And it looks like just, you see things scattered all over. You see bodies, half devoured bodies, clearly dead. You see a couple zombies kind of wandering in this area. You close the gate and you almost have it latched, and then you latch it, but just before you latch it, it makes this loud metallic squeak. And it's like, one of the zombies, not all of them, one of them turns towards the gate and kind of starts slowly walking towards the gate. Now you're on the inside and it is closed and you bolt it, but it sees you and it's walking, shambling slowly towards the gate.
Did we hear that creak?
No, you guys, if you didn't come around to the building's edge, you wouldn't have heard this.
Okay.
I mean, this is like 60 feet away from you, so.
Yeah.
Is there like a second floor to this building?
Yes.
And a
This-
balcony?
So this and the inn are the only 2-story buildings in the entire village.
Is there any balcony or something?
There is not. There are windows, but you see everything in the magistrate's building seems to be closed, and all of the shutters also seem to be. Roll good. Back to you. What do you do?
Yeah, I really don't know what I should do. No one's there to help me. But he's definitely seen. Has he seen? Can I tell if he saw me or if he just heard the noise?
You're not
Or do
sure.
I not?
You're not sure.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're not like standing right there, right? You
No,
closed it, you
I was
squatted
trying to do it stealthily. So I think I'm gonna move back and tell the guys what happened.
Okay. So you guys, a moment later, I mean, like literally all of this transpired in less than a minute. Brolgood kind of circles back around to the back of the building to meet you, and he fills you in on what's happening. Go ahead.
So I tried to close the gate in the front. There was one zombie at the door that I killed. Then when I closed the gate, I made too much noise, and one other zombie is on his way towards the front gate.
We should kill him so he doesn't attract attention.
I'm sorry?
Did you have a peek into the open door?
No, I didn't get a chance to look into the open door. But that one zombie is definitely coming towards us. I only have 7 arrows left. And so I don't know if maybe Fry would have a chance to go around and take a shot at him.
You're down to 6. Now.
I'm down to 6, sorry, thank you.
But however, remember that the zombie you killed inside the gate, you could conceivably go try to reclaim those arrows.
Okay.
Whatever we do, we need to kill this zombie before he attracts more attention to this place.
Okay.
Well, if he's
remember,
at the door, we can probably stab him.
Brolgood, remember there were a total of 3 zombies who were in that area, and only one of them was heading towards the gate.
Right.
So again, just to reiterate for you guys, on each side, on the first level of each side of this building, there are 2 windows, all of which have wooden shutters that are closed. The front door faces the road, that was closed, and there's a dead zombie there that Brolgood just put 2 arrows in. So, and then the second floor has the same kind of layout with 2 windows on each side.
All right. I say we go over to the gate and just stab the zombie that's probably still at the gate.
I'm gonna light my sword on fire, and
I don't think you need that.
Go to the front. I'm gonna go to the front gate.
All right.
I mean, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Yeah.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go around with him and then try to get couple of those arrows back if I can.
Okay. So, Taryn, you get to the front gate and you see a zombie, like clawing at the top of the front gate, and you could see it through the wrought iron bars, you know, and it like sees you and it's like trying to swipe through the bars.
I'll stab at it through the gate.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
With my sword of flame. That's a 15.
Yep, hit damage.
That's 5 on the die.
Okay, so 5 on the die plus 2 for the fire. You stab it, and part of it, like its clothing, is a little bit crisp. Go ahead and attack again.
All right. That is a crit.
You kill it. How do you kill it? Describe this glorious death.
With my sword of flame, this claymore, I just stab it right through the skull, through the gate, and then just come right back.
Okay, so here's what happens. You rock back and you just shove your claymore through its skull like a lance. And it goes through the zombie's skull and kind of sticks. And then when you pull it out, it pulls the zombie towards the gate. And you hear like a tss, like the fire is extinguished from your blade, and your blade is covered in blood and brains.
Gotcha.
The zombie slumps to the front of the gate. However, in this time, the other 2 zombies are now apparently hearing this and slowly shambling from the plaza towards the front gate. Brolgood, arrow recovery. For each arrow of the 2 that you're trying to recover, roll a d6 and tell me what the result is.
That's a 6.
All right, that one snaps off.
And a 2.
Okay, so you were able to recover 1 of the 2 arrows, so you have 7 left.
Okay.
The rest of you guys, Freya, what are you doing?
I'm trying the front door, see if we can open it.
It is locked.
No. What was it again? That's tinkering, right? I'll try and open it.
You may tinker away with your specialist skills.
All right, let's go. Nope, it's a 4 against 2.
Okay. It seems to It seems to defy your lock-picking skills. As you are doing that, Gizmo, what are you doing?
I come towards one of the closed shutters and try to politely knock and ask, is anyone in there?
Okay.
Politely knock.
That's fine. You're like, hello. Hello. Arazen, what are you doing?
I'm standing by the gate with my sword at the ready for the zombies that are approaching.
Okay.
Let's not
That's
forget
gonna-
about the one that's laying on the ground. We probably need to cut his head off.
Is anybody other than Rollgood attending to the one that he's retrieving his arrows from?
Nope.
I'm wiping off my sword and recoding it.
Rollgood, make an intelligence check and tell me what the result is.
That's a 14.
What's your int?
My intelligence is 12.
Yeah. As you're pulling the arrows out of this body, it looks like this was somebody familiar. Like this is somebody you've seen before in town. You just can't place from where. Terran and Arazen, the two other zombies, shamble up in disregard of the corpse that you just put your claymore through, and they are trying to reach through this gate, and they're like jiggling on it and reaching, trying to claw it at you, and their jaws are snapping angrily at you. Terran, go ahead and make an attack roll.
All right. I would have lit this sword on fire again. That's a natural 18.
Okay. Yeah.
8 damage on the die.
All right. Arazen, are you attacking the other one, or are you attacking
The other one, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
21.
Damage?
11.
Still up. You carve out a huge portion of this thing, and it's still just raving and trying to claw. I'm going to make rolls for them. It is very unlikely that they're going to achieve this as a success, unless I happen to roll a nat 20, which I don't. So they're both clawing at you guys. When you move in for the attacks, they kind of try to claw at you, but miss. Arazen, Terran, you're up.
Okay. That would be a 14.
Hit, damage.
4 damage on the die.
That
Plus
is
whatever.
just
thing-
enough. You carve into its neck, and it cuts enough so where like the head flops, and there's a singe, and the thing just drops. Arazen, you are up.
14.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
5.
That is also enough. There are now 3 zombie corpses. Both of you roll a d6 and tell me what you get for the result.
Okay.
2.
4.
Okay. Arazen, you notice this. One of the last 2 zombies that you killed, when you cut it, you saw this green glow kind of that was in its neck sort of fade and then kind of blink out. The others didn't have this.
Everyone, I've noticed something. The zombie that I have just dispatched had a green glow in his throat as well.
But the others didn't? So there was
They
the
did
only
not.
one out of the whole bunch we killed?
That's
Correct.
correct. And when I killed him, the glow went away.
Same as the others.
Gizmo, your knock and your polite knock and inquiry yields nothing once again. You hear nothing.
Expected, but Lord
You see Freya is at the door trying to pick the lock. Is anyone else doing anything?
Hey guys,
Just keeping a lookout.
I want you to come look at this zombie that I killed laying here in front of the door. He looks familiar to me, but I can't place him. Does anyone seem to know who that is or remember?
All of you guys could make an intelligence check. The lower the better. Tell me what the roll is.
Yeah, natural 1.
Yeah, the only time that you celebrate that roll. That's right. So, Taryn, after informing you guys about this green glowing zombie, looks at the zombie body that was in front of the door, and you immediately recognize the kid. It's like a flashback when you see his face. You remember that this is Jacob. He was one of the serving boys at the inn, and he's most definitely dead, but it looks like he had been turned into a zombie.
Are we going to lose everyone in this town, including our friend? Because if we're going to kill them, let's kill them all and get it done with. If not, we need to find a solution.
At this point, it looks like we're just going to have to keep killing them until we can figure out something. I haven't figured out how it's happening.
The corpse with the glow is behind the gate.
On the other side of the gate, yeah, out by the street. So there are 3 dead zombies here now.
Are there
One,
like...
and the body of Jacob, that one, is there.
Guys, I have idea. Could we try to pull in the corpse that had a glow?
You want to pull in the one corpse that had the glow?
I am asking
We can do that.
the group
I
if
can
they
grab
can
him.
help.
I can grab him and pull him inside the gate.
Okay.
I'll open the gate for you and hold it open.
Okay. So together, you guys kind of quickly enact this plan. Taryn, you kind of pull that back, the bolt on the gate, and you pull it open. The body's kind of like slump. And Arizen, you grab the body of the zombie that had the green glow, and you pull it in. Taryn, you close it. While you guys are doing that, you notice that there are 3 more zombies in this area, kind of like up against these buildings. From this vantage point, you could see that the windows that would be here and the door for the inn are all smashed. And there's like a bunch of like random stuff, like just ruin and wreckage kind of scattered around this side of the inn. You can't really see from your vantage point here. You can't see past these buildings, so you don't know what's in this area. But you do see a few other zombies in this area. They don't seem to know this though.
Okay. I'll give a quick warning. There's 3 other zombies by the inn.
Okay.
Well, Gizmo, take a look at this guy and see what you...
Yeah. First thing I want to check is back of his head. Is there crescent?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Second thing I want to do is take my dagger and open his throat. See what's in there.
Okay. You carefully kind of dissect the zombie corpse. And as you pull it open, you find a very small green stone. It doesn't look like a gemstone, like a emerald or anything expensive. It looks like just some kind of a crystal mineral, and it's green. It is not glowing.
Yeah, I'm probably tearing a piece of my sleeve and packing it into it.
Okay.
And yeah, that's what I wanted for now.
Okay.
This seems to be a source, at least.
I wonder if this is the only way it's been happening, though.
I'm still trying to get that lock open. So.
You are having a difficult time with that. Roll good.
Can I try to help him or help her?
Yes. Go ahead and make a tinkering check.
Yeah, that's a 3.
Yeah, you guys feel like the lock and rightly so. I mean, this is the magistrate's like building, but this lock is a lot more complex than a simple lock on most cottages. You do see, however, that, like I said, on each side, north, south, east, and west, there are 2 windows that have wooden shutters that seem to be closed.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to try the window next.
Okay, so go ahead and make a tinkering check with this, and you get a bonus of 1, because this is a little bit easier.
Nope, it's a 5 against 3 then.
Okay, roll good.
Yeah, I'll give it a chance. That's also a 3.
Do you have tinkering?
I just have 1 and 6.
Okay, you guys try the windows. They're latched from the inside. You're just having a difficult time kind of trying to pop the latches.
Should we try it the old-fashioned way?
Yeah, I was going to say, yo, Taryn, could you come over here and just rip this window plank off?
With pleasure. And I'll take...
just to be clear, which side are you doing this on? North, east, south, or west? There are 2 windows on each side.
Do it on the west
I
side.
was going to let them pick because they were doing it first.
Okay, so west, there's the northwest or the southwest side.
I'll do northwest.
Okay, so you go to the window, and you are going to smash it open.
Smash.
Which is an actual thing, you know, with ability score.
Oh yeah, it is.
Your strength is going to factor in here.
Is that my open doors common activity?
Yeah, basically. So since this window is not as secure as the thick oak door, you got a 3 and 6 chance, I think. Let me see.
Yeah, I have two dots in my open doors currently.
Yeah, so I'll give you a +1. So you got a 3 and 6 chance.
Gotcha. All right, let's give it a shot. That was a 6.
Your claymore shatters. No, just kidding. Arizen, you see Taryn having a difficult time trying to pry off the wooden shutters from this window.
Arizen is growing visibly frustrated at
Yes.
this time, and I will go over and try to rip it off for him. Natural 20 with an 18 strength.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. You need to roll a d6.
Oh. Damn it!
Damn it.
A 1!
There you go. That's
Yes.
the same thing as a natural 20. So
Yes.
you go and just rage rip, and the hinges pop off. And you see a nice stained glass window ready to be smashed. But you look in and you don't see anyone in this front parlor room as you're looking through the window.
Is there a way, now that the shutter is gone, to get in without destroying the glass?
One of your friends could try to open the window, basically to pick the lock.
They have a
We're gonna
higher
try
success
first.
rate than they did with the shutters.
Go ahead.
No, that's a 4.
Roll
I'll
good.
Give it a try. That's a 3 again.
I smashed the glass. Like, we've already made enough sound.
Okay, smash. Windows open. You guys, with a little bit of a boost, could put somebody inside.
Who's going on recon?
I'll take recon.
Okay.
Freya, I'll lift Freya into the window.
Gonna stealth.
Okay,
kind of
Freya,
stealth.
roll stealth.
6 against 3.
You get up into the window and stepping over the broken glass to try to not cut yourself, you cut yourself. So you take a hit point of damage as your hand accidentally reaches out to grab something as you're losing your balance and just carve your hand open. But you get in and you are in the front parlor and you see the open doorway out to the hall, and you from there can see the actual front door itself.
All right. I'm not seeing any zombies or other creatures around.
No, it's very quiet.
All right. Then I'll go up to the door and see if I can open up the door from the inside.
You can. You see the deadbolt, which you move, and then you can turn the lock, and you open the door. The rest of you guys hear the door open, and you see Freya inside. She's holding her hand. It's dripping blood.
I'll give her a rag to wrap her hands up.
Thank you. And I'll-
So you guys go inside, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Close the door behind you,
Yes.
and you see that off to the left is the office of the magistrate. Door is closed. To the right is the parlor. That door is open. And if you continue walking down the hallway, you would get to another area that's kind of a kitchen and pantry and dining area.
try the office
Also,
first.
the stairs that go up to the second floor.
Let's cover more ground in parties. Does anyone want to team up and take this on?
I'll search like the kitchen pantry.
Okay, so you guys walk to the back. Back of the house, you see the kitchen. You see this pantry. Oddly, you don't see any food in the pantry. It's like completely empty. Like everything was taken off the shelves.
I'll call out to the magistrate, or if anybody's here.
Okay.
If they've moved all their food, they must have had forewarning that something was going on.
You call out.
He went upstairs and taking all the stuff upstairs, barricading himself in.
You guys want to go upstairs?
I want to first check and
Once
see if
we've-
there might
once
be any
we've
trap
checked.
doors or anything.
Okay. Go ahead and make that search roll.
I have a 4 and 6 chance, and that's a 3.
All right. Roll good. You begin searching around. And when you get to, you've searched the pantry, you've searched the kitchen, the hallway, the parlor. You get back to that door that's closed to the magistrate's office. It is locked. Do you want to try picking the lock?
Yeah, I'll give it a chance. I'll give it. Well, that's a 5.
Does anyone want to go upstairs to check?
Yes.
Can I knock politely on the magistrate's door?
Sure.
I knock politely. Hello, magistrate. Are you home?
You do. You hear nothing.
Go upstairs.
Okay. Those of you who go upstairs, you get to the top. The stairs turn, and there's a hallway that leads along to the 2 upstairs bedrooms. Those doors are open. The bedrooms seem to be perfectly normal. Nowhere in this house have you seen signs of entry, attack, smeared blood, or anything like that.
I'm not really good at searching, but I'll search around anyway, just to see.
Okay. The only thing that you notice that's maybe out of place is that the pillows and covers, like blankets on the beds, have been stripped off.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I'll report my findings downstairs if no one came up.
Okay. The only area at this point that you guys have not been able to search is the magistrate's office, because the door is locked. Does anyone want to try that?
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
gonna
not
give it a
little
try.
louder.
Pick the lock or I'll break it down, one of the two.
Okay, Freya, you want to try to pick it?
That's a 2 against my 2.
Okay. You actually pick the lock.
Yeah.
You
Right
turn it. You open the door, and you notice the office seems intact. The shelves are there. The desk is there. The two chairs that were on the other side of the desk, like where he would have like meetings with people, those chairs and the rug that kind of anchored to the center of the room have been moved aside. And you see a wooden trapdoor.
Mhm.
And there's like an iron ring to pull it open.
I knock it with the hilt of my rapier and call out for the magistrate. Meyer, are you below here?
You wait a moment, and then you hear a voice say, "Who is that? Who's up there?"
It is us, Freya and the other guys. How are you? What's happening?
Are you all safe? Have any of you been sick?
No, we're fine. We just came from the Curse family farm to see what's going on in town. So, what's been happening? We've seen a lot of like zombie like.
You hear the sound of sliding wood, like a deadbolt being removed, and then you see the trapdoor begin to open. It kind of like creaks open, and you look down, and you see Magistrate Meyer, and he looks like horrible, like he hasn't slept in days. He obviously hasn't bathed in any fashion because he smells ripe. And you're pretty sure that all of his bodily functions are somewhere down below in a bucket because you instantly smell just gross, right? And he like peeks up and his hair's greasy and he's like, you've come to rescue us from Castle Lee? Are they coming?
They don't know what's happening here yet. We
What?
came here.
I sent word.
We've not been able to return. We've been fighting zombies ever since we saw you last.
What happened to Roger? I sent him to
He was
He's
in the
been-
forest and the zombies.
He's fallen.
Oh no. He
We're-
just seems like crestfallen. He's like,
We have lost many.
what about the others in the village? They were in the inn and the church. Are there any other survivors?
You know about
At this
inn has
point, we have not.
And only the young little lady
Molly.
escaped. Molly.
Molly escaped?
Yeah.
And you say the farmers are safe as well?
The,
some-
the Arnolfsson family and the Kerr family are together.
Well,
And-
Bellows families here in town, they were staying at the inn.
not the Bellow, the other one. There were
Bellow?
three.
The
No.
Arnoldsons are fine.
The Arnolfssons are secure.
Yes,
The,
but
Kerr,
what
the
of the
Kerrs
inn?
are secure.
And what of the inn and Bellow and Falcone?
We have not been back to the inn yet. We were to head there shortly.
And what of
But-
the priest Collins? He was tending to the ill folks in the church. Is he okay?
Magistrate, I fear the worst.
This is the first building we have visited in the town so far.
This building is the most secure in the town, so we thought we would come here first for a vantage point.
I told them to come here. They wouldn't listen. I said we must lock ourselves in the cellar. It will be the safest place. None of them listened to me.
And I'm afraid they paid the price for that.
If they would come here, it might be the least safest place in this town also.
Well, I have some food left. I don't know if you are hungry, but
We're fine.
We're fine.
We're fine.
he says, "Are there any outside of the house? Are the grounds safe?"
There are some
Outside-
wandering around, but we will dispatch them as we come to them. You have nothing to fear.
The
We've closed the
immediate
gate.
inside your walls are safe.
Yeah.
I must empty several chamber pots and buckets. I've been down there for many days. I'm not sure how long.
Don't do this yet. It will drain attention right now.
Yes, stay secure. We know that you're here. We know that you're safe. Stay here, stay safe. We will continue to check out the rest of the town.
Also, you don't have to be probably locked down here, but don't open the rest of the house.
Board up the window that we broke in to get in,
Oh,
and we will return.
very well. And he kind of like nods, and you see he crawls up the rest of the way into his office, and he kind of stretches, and he's like, yes, boards. And he looks over to his shelves. He begins taking things off the shelves and setting them on the desk, and then kind of prying the shelf boards out. So he's kind of working on that. What do you guys do?
Well, there are two places we should check. One is
Ready to go outside.
Well,
You
the
know it.
church. So this is the church where the priest colony was, where you guys had gone before, and you didn't crawl over or look over this wall, so you don't really know what's going on in this kind of quadrant here. The inn is over here. You did see that the doors and windows were broken, and there was a lot of debris and body parts all around that area, and there were a few zombies over there.
I think the inn is probably not a good place for us to go right now. I would like to have a look at the church if we could.
Yeah.
Just have a peek over the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would
See if we can either use the rope or jump over from the wall onto the church.
I holler
Okay.
to the magistrate. Make sure that you lock the door behind us, but pay attention. We will return and need re-entry.
Yes, I will. So Freya, you, with the help of your friends, you boost up over this wall,
Mm-hmm.
and you look over, and you just see the church is decimated. Like, it looks like maybe it had been boarded up, but there you see like splintered wood around the windows and the front door. You see that it looks like maybe there was a fire here, because like this half of the building is like burnt to a crisp, and the northeast corner right here of the roof has fallen in.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see anyone living in that area, nor do you see zombies. However, from this vantage point on the wall, you can clearly see a little bit more, and it looks like there are definitely 3 zombies on this kind of southern end of the inn.
Okay. I turn around and just shake my head to the guys, and the church is a lost cause, guys. It's no way in heck that there's anyone there alive.
I'm sorry, one more very important thing. From your vantage point on top of the wall, you can see that the east gate into the village is still closed and secured.
All right.
But notice that it's rattling, like as if something's pushing on it from the other side.
Okay.
So if all the gates are closed, these people got sick within the city walls.
Yeah, and there's it looks like there's folk on the outside of the east gate.
Trying to get in.
It's trying to get in. It's probably going to be more zombies, I bet.
Then we'll bathe in blood this day.
Let's go for it.
Let's clear this town out.
So how are you guys going to do this? Are you going to go out the gate and move down, or are you going to climb over walls? What's your plan?
I was
I'm going
thinking
right
I could
out the front gate.
try and sniper out of some of those zombies from the wall.
You certainly could.
I would like to do the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
I'll
two.
go north there.
Okay. So, are you guys going while they're doing the sniping, or are you waiting for them to snipe?
Let's
Waiting.
snipe first.
Wait for a moment. Let them get a couple of shots off, so that
Yeah.
that we have cover.
And another thing we could try and rattle our gate and have them come to us and just
And just pick them
get
off from
get
inside the gate.
Yeah, we could just
get them
shout
from
and draw
the
them.
gate.
That's not a bad idea.
That would be safer than just being out in the open.
I take my sword and my shield and I start banging them together. Clang, clang, clang.
Okay.
And
So
when they
Rollgood and Freya save some arrows. You see that your noise gets the attention of these 3 zombies. They begin shambling down the road towards you guys. They're snarling.
Freya,
They eventually
Rollgood, you're
make it
up.
to the gate, and they're at the gate kind of trying to claw at you guys. Taryn, go ahead.
Yep. That's a 13.
Hit, damage.
Alright.
How much?
5.
Okay, you hit him. Arizen,
9.
okay. Taryn,
Natural 1.
okay.
Can I get up there with my axe?
He
You
stabs
sure can.
me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's an 8.
Miss. Arizen,
Nat 20.
Hey.
That's 2 today.
okay. You drop 1. They're clawing at you guys, but fail. Go ahead, Taryn.
20. Dirty 20.
Okay.
3 damage.
All right. Roll good.
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
Hey.
Damage.
That was a 2, and then plus 6 would be 8.
Okay. There's 1 left. Arizen,
13.
hit, damage.
6.
Okay. Taryn,
1.
roll
4.
good.
4 damage.
Okay. Roll good.
That's an 18 and 4 damage.
Okay. You guys collectively just chop, chop, chop until the 3 zombies aren't moving anymore. None of them had the green glowing net. They're all seem to be farmers, villagers, travelers. You know, none of them seem familiar to you, like any of the people who you spent time with.
Mm-hmm.
It is, other than the sound of the rattling east gate of the village, kind of rocking back and forth up against the wooden deadbolt that's kind of placed inside, you don't hear any other sounds.
I didn't
So
see
we
any
had-
other zombies coming around.
You are on top of the wall. From where you are, you don't see any other zombies.
All right.
Looks like the 3 that were drawn by the sound of Arizen rattling his weapons. You don't hear anything else.
All right. So I turn to the guys and like, fellas, it looks like it's all clear now. I don't see any movement out here anymore.
Let's head to the inn.
Yeah. I'll go outside.
Everybody kind of gathers. You have to push the gate open and pull the zombie bodies back away from it, and then you're able to kind of open it the rest of the way so all of y'all could get through. You close the gate behind you and you begin moving carefully down the road. You kind of get to this corner, you look both ways, no zombies.
Take me off the
Body
wall.
parts. You see pools of dried blood, you see body parts. You guys get to the corners of this building. You don't see any zombies outside. As you've gotten closer, you can now not only see and hear the rattling of the gate, but you hear the moans of zombies. A lot of zombies moaning and snarling past this.
All right. They helped me down from the wall as they came around to the corner.
Yep.
All right. Is there a gap between the 2 door halves?
Yes. I mean, it's a gate. It's 2 swinging gates, and there's a deadbolt, like a huge wooden plank, and they're pushing up against it, and it's kind of like rocking back and forth up against it. And it
Yeah.
looks like this process has been happening for a while. because that wooden plank seems to be splintered in a couple spots.
But
Crack.
there's a gap in between.
Yes.
All right.
And when they push in on it, it opens up that gap just enough where you could see multiple zombies like through the gap, like going back.
Is
All right. Well, we could try stabbing through the gap, see if we can whittle down the numbers a little bit.
is second story of the inn above the wall?
The inn seemed, well, so first of all, the inn looks like it definitely was attacked. Like you could see, there's body parts, pools of blood. There's an entrance here and an entrance here to the inn. If you guys want to get closer to it, you could kind of see what's inside. Are you being stealthy? What's your approach?
I would like just eye in from the distance if the inn is higher than the wall.
Yes, the second floor of the inn would give you a vantage point to see over the gate.
Yeah, so it might be worth it to explore. Yeah.
Okay.
Stealthy approach.
Yeah.
Are you guys stealthing up, or what's your plan? Are you going to the door that's on the south side of the building or on the west side of the building?
Go through the south side.
Yeah, I want to go and try and step through the slit in the gate.
Okay.
See if we can get some zombies down.
Okay. What are you using?
Get my rapier to step through the little.
Okay. You go over to the gate. You
Try and
stab
take
through.
aim.
I'm gonna say that you stab through a bunch of times, and you maybe kill like one of them, and it's replaced by another one. You hear when you're this close, there are a lot of them. Like the sounds that they're making, there are more than you've ever heard in one grouping.
Yeah.
Who is
Go
going
through.
into the inn?
Aaron,
Okay.
I'll go with him with my axe.
He's
You guys-
behind.
You guys open, you don't need to open the door. You look in the door, and the inn is trashed. It looks like they might have taken the chairs and tables and tried to put them up against the doors and windows, because you see that the chairs and tables all kind of seem to be cleared from the floor and they're up against the walls, but that wasn't enough. You see blood, dried blood all over the wooden floors of the inn. You see body parts, you see bodies, torsos that have been devoured. You see a couple dead bodies that, look like maybe they were zombies who had been killed with severe weapon attacks to their heads.
yeah.
And a couple zombies that are dead who look like their skulls were smashed in by some blunt object. Across the room, you see the bar, and towards the back of the building, the area where the kitchen would be.
Yeah.
There are stairs going up to the second floor to the rooms.
I just want to quickly clear the first floor before heading out. Check
Okay.
the bar, the kitchen, just to see.
Anybody who wants to, go ahead and make a search roll.
4.
I got a 4 with my 4 and 6.
2 for 2.
6. Distracted.
Okay, so here's what you find. Those of you who succeeded, you see that the food supply in the kitchen and the pantry cupboards is basically depleted. It looks like people stayed here and they used up whatever was here. You see that even the casks of alcohol, the bottles of wine, all of them have been drained. So it looks like, the people who were trying to stay here kind of used up everything they could. The stairs going up are also covered in dried blood. Some of the banister for the stairs, some of the dowel rods have been broken out. So it looks like there was some kind of battle here as well.
Does this building have a cellar?
You have searched everywhere and you do not find an entry to a cellar.
Okay.
Let's go upstairs.
I go to
Okay.
the furthermost east point that I can look out of a window to see the zombie horde at the gate.
So you go upstairs. You get to the top of the stairs. There are 4, there's a long hallway and there are 4 bedrooms. All of the doors to these bedrooms are closed.
I go to the first bedroom door and I rap on it lightly with my knuckle.
Okay. You don't hear anything.
I attempt to see if it's unlocked.
It is unlocked.
I open it slowly.
It looks like this room has been stripped. You see the frame for where the beds should be, but the bedding itself has all been stripped.
Is there any cloth material whatsoever that I can see in the room?
Nope.
Nothing. All right, I move on to the next room.
Same thing.
I'll check one as well. There's 4, right?
You get to the third room, same thing.
All
When
right.
you get to the end of the hallway, the 4th room, you try that door and it is locked. And you hear, you try the door and it's locked. What do you do?
I put my head up to the
ask-
door and listen.
You hear like some movement inside, like footsteps.
I rap
Anybody
soft-
in there?
You say, anybody in there? You hear like, and you hear
Anyone
the shuffling
alive in there?
footsteps, and a moment later you hear the sound of like a thud up against the door, and then like another thud up against the door.
I don't think they're
This is
alive,
sad.
brother.
No, this is sad. Is this the one we need to get into to get a look out over the gate?
This would give you, actually no, you could go back to one of the other open rooms and open up the shutters and look out.
Yep, let's do that.
Yeah.
So you go back into one of the other rooms, you open up the shutters and you look out. When you guys look out, you see a herd of zombies. Like, there are at least 60 zombies all up against these walls and up against the gates, like just all of them kind of like just wobbling up against the gates and like pounding on the palisades. They're all clustered outside of this area.
Shit.
All would be handy. A lot of them.
What's
Is-
interesting to you is that some of them look like, commoners, peasants, villagers, farmers. Some of them look like merchants maybe, or they're like in nicer finery, like they're traveling from some other area. But they're all kind of clumped up and they're just trying to get into the village.
Can we see any green glow coming from any of them, or are they too far away?
That is an excellent question. I will have you make a search roll. Now it's going to be a little bit difficult. So I'm going to give you a -1 to whatever you have for your search roll. Anybody could roll this. But if you have like a 3 and 6 for search, it's now a 2 and 6. If you have a 1 and 6, you still got a chance, but you have to roll a 1.
Roll the 1.
Okay.
I rolled a 4.
Okay.
I rolled a 4 also.
All right. You guys are just looking out in complete shock at this mob of zombies. And you're like studying them, looking at the diverse range. There's, men, women, children, all sorts of different varieties of people. You, unfortunately, as you're looking, you notice a familiar face in the crowd. Amongst the zombies outside, you see the face of Farmer Bello. and you're dismayed because it looks like he's clearly like one of the zombies. But what you notice is that he seems to be absent of any visible evidence of having been bitten or clawed. Like all the other zombies have some kind of like bite marks or claw marks, or they're missing flesh or missing even some limb. But like Bello doesn't seem to have any wounds, but he's definitely a zombie. Like his skin is gray and like oily looking, and his eyes are dead and vacant.
How deep
And
into the horde is he?
He's about halfway, like 30 feet out, kind of like in the middle of the horde. But as you notice this, you also notice something that, like, when he kind of like does his zombie head roll, and his head seems to be like back, and he's getting jostled around in the middle of the crowd, you notice that there's a green pulsing glow around his neck.
We need to get to him. Alive.
Well,
You want to get him alive?
Yes.
well,
In the middle of that.
I don't know how, but I want to, yes.
Brother, I think you've lost your mind.
It's quite
Yeah.
possible. It is quite possible.
As you guys are talking about this, remember that the fourth room, the one on this southeast corner of the inn, is still locked, and there were sounds inside of it that you had heard. What do you guys want to do?
We should take care of this last one.
Yeah, let's go and take care of whatever's in that fourth room.
Are you trying to pick locks?
Nope. I'm gonna break
Not
it down.
anymore. We're breaking doors down.
Okay, go ahead. Make your roll.
So it's open
Is it a
doors.
roll under strength?
I believe it's your open doors activities, so it's a D6. I rolled a 3 out of my 2 of 6.
That's good.
I got a 2.
Okay, so between the two of you, you guys like 1, 2, 3, boosh, 1, 2, 3, boosh, 1, 2, 3, boosh, and you blow the door off the hinges. And as you push in, you basically knock over the zombie, and the door kind of falls in on the zombie. So you have a zombie pinned under a door, and
Does he
there's
have any
another
se-
one, and
I
there's
stand up
another
on
one
the. What?
that
Oh,
is about
shit.
5 feet away in the room.
Oh shit.
Do we notice any green glow?
No. So the zombie that you didn't pin is like coming at you guys. So Taryn, you attack, and then Arizon, you attack.
All right. 17.
Hit.
3 damage.
Okay, Taryn, Arizon,
17.
hit.
8 damage.
Still up. What's your armor class, Taryn?
That is melee 13.
Okay. You get swiped at, and he claws and catches your armor, but you don't. It doesn't break through. Your turn.
Oh, that's a miss. It was a 9.
Okay. Arizon,
17.
hit.
6.
All right, you cut him down. The zombie that's under the door is struggling to get out from being pinned by the door. You can see its arms, but like its face and torso and most of its legs are covered by the door.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Hold him still. I'll stab through the door.
I'll stand on like the lower end of the door so we can't get out.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll. I'll give you a
15.
+4. All right,
Fit.
damage.
9.
Okay. You stab in, still struggling. The arms are flailing.
Shall I do it again?
Take care of it.
21.
Yep. Damage.
8.
Okay. The arms stop struggling.
All right.
They
Now
fall.
Move the
let's
door.
investigate.
I'm gonna take the door and move it. I want to see if we know who these people are too.
So the first zombie that you killed looks like just one of the townsfolk. You didn't really recognize him. When you pull the door off, you're stunned as you see the zombie face of Innkeeper Falcone.
Shit.
The once hardy, sturdy, brawny man in this shriveled form, and you notice that there's a bite mark kind of on his neck, shoulder area, and his clothing was like bloody and stuff, and it looks like maybe he tried to barricade himself in this room with one other survivor and ended up dying here and turning. Neither one of them had the green glow from their neck.
This town reeks of death. Let's just
smash cut back to Freya, Rollgood, and Gizmo. As you guys are looking out the window at the horde, Gizmo, you see that the green glow from Zombie Bellow's neck is getting brighter, like visibly brighter. And this is daytime, right? Like it's like noon, and you could see this green glow to the extent where it's like a light bulb that's green casting a light on the zombies around it. And you notice that the zombies seem to be more intensely like ramming up against the town gates. There's something more intense going on.
Freya, we need to stop him. I think he's giving them strength.
Yeah.
I think he's giving them intent rather than strength.
As you guys are considering this, you're looking out the window. Gizmo, you notice something very strange. The dead, milky-eyed zombie Bellow, as it's like flailing and agitating back and forth, and the crowd's like kind of picking it up, and they're ramming up against the gates. It kind of stops and it turns and it looks up at the window where you guys are, and it lifts its hands and it points.
I shove to the side. I don't know if it can cast or anything out of the view.
You guys are still seeing this, and it's pointing up at the wall, at the window where you guys are. And the frenzy of zombies keeps smashing up and up against the gate. And you, Rollgood and Freya, you hear crackling of wood. And you look down from your window perspective, and you could see that this gate and the huge wooden plank that was deadbolting it, you hear it cracking. Each time they smash into the gate, it pushes a little bit further and cracks. And that is where we'll end this episode of The Lamenter. Wrap that up and smoke it. We will see you next time to find out what happens in the village of Oak Point. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.
Next time.
Hello, it's me, Wizzy. I'm back once again to remind you to subscribe and click on the notifications button, and also watch videos that are over there. And then don't forget to tune in to the next episode of whatever show you are just watching, and crafting videos and DM tips and pro tips for vlogging and all sorts of gaming things. And also you could watch Bill eat food and watch other shows featuring Bill. He made me say that because he's a narcissist. Okay, bye.